Welcome back, guys. We hopefully you have had a great week so far. We have a special topics today, and we have Joe with us once again.
Yep.
And we have special topic today. Our first topic we are actually covering is going to be the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti Founders Edition. So, what do you think about this, Joe?
Well, it's a cool card. NVIDIA has been doing some really good work. I personally, I used to be a person who really pushed AMD for GPUs. Hypocritically, I never bought an AMD GPU. So I actually built a computer for my brother and I built a computer for a friend, and we used an AMD GPU. And he's had more, difficulties trying to like get the drivers to work and everything, and a little bit more like compatibility issues for different games and stuff. So I'm not trying to trash AMD here right now, but I really think that like NVIDIA's graphics cards are really good, and with the market the way it is right now, with demand being really high and the supply being low, most things, right? Like a lot of things have been, a lot of factories, like in the United States, we had a lot of like pork facilities closed and everything. So I can't imagine like how what's happening to the tech industry about, trying to ramp up supply, a lot of supply chains have been interrupted.
Yep, definitely.
It's not, but let's go back to how awesome the card is. Yeah, it's a 1440p card, and if you have $400, it's a reasonable proposition. The people who really want to upgrade are usually the people who are like 2 generations back.
Correct.
You have that thirst to upgrade because it's so painful at the lower generations you've been on. So you're struggling on the 1060 or the 960 or something below that. You're like, whoa, I can get this at 1080p or 1440, and you just bite the bullet. But I know a lot of other people are going to be like waiting for the lower SKUs.
This 1440, just to make sure, just get me if I'm correct. This 1440p is actually a 2K resolution. Is that right?
Yeah.
So that's still for $400 for running 2K. That ain't bad.
Yeah.
Compared to if you get a 4K, what it's like $799, $800, something like that.
Yeah, and I mean it could still do 4K gaming, but I looked down at the benchmarks here. Yeah, so it's sorry guys, I'm just gonna say it's been a rough weekend, so I'm just kind of we're dragging a little bit, but yeah, like the card is just awesome though. I mean, we talked last week about how the RTX 3060 isn't out there yet, but was being benchmarked.
Correct.
And I went to their website, and NVIDIA said that you can expect the RTX 3060 late February, but you can actually buy the and I think let's see, I think they were. It's really weird. They were okay. So I guess the 360 is coming out at $330, and the 360 you can see on NVIDIA's website is like $400. Mm-hmm. Little bit of sidetracking. I did a Google search about trying to find out what the cheapest price you can find, and I really am interested in this. If anybody knows, anybody ever bought anything from Randall's Bean? I saw some YouTube videos about whether it's a scam or not. Looked kind of fishy. It might just be somebody who's like, I don't know, like it doesn't make sense. Like it's usually, this is not a thing that's been on the market for very long. So when you see discounted prices like this, it's usually for something that's been out there for a year or 3 years,
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can find like cheaper lights or cheaper like camera or something because the product's been out there for like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
So just be careful of any website that's promising, they're promising they're selling the 3060 Ti for $280. But it's like sold out everywhere else, and the selling price that NVIDIA said was $330.
Interesting.
So just be careful when you're looking for stuff like buying, because because you're probably giving them their credit card information and whatever else you're
Correct.
giving them, and then they could use that. So, yeah, what do you think about the benchmarks here for the 360 Ti?
Oh man, hold on, let me pull that up for you real quick. Give me one moment, Joe. The benchmarks, I'm seeing them. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. Let me pull up the benchmarks. Where is it? Sorry, this is the first time I'm actually gonna be sharing some. Let's see. Benchmarks are pretty. That's pretty dope. It's pretty much. What do you think about this specs yourself first?
All right. Well,
because you're more into this graphics card than I am.
Yeah. So let's see. It's obviously it's above. Let's see, where would it be? Goodness. Yeah, I guess this one doesn't go into a ton. I mean, it's out there, so there's other benchmarks out there. I'm just gonna look one up really quickly because I thought I already had that.
Yeah, and this was a Founders Edition. But what's the also too? Here's another thing: is what's the difference between a regular 3060 Ti versus Founders Edition? What is the difference?
There isn't much. Like if you're doing AIB, then it would be it'd have better cooling. But NVIDIA with their design this time, with a fan on the front and a fan on the back, try to get rid of that like hot and loud meme for their Founders Editions. So they're trying to compete a little bit more with their AIB partners. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and they also reduced the price. They used to have the Founders price more than the what their partners were letting out, the base price. But I think they've kind of gone away with that. They've are releasing at the same price they would expect their partners to release at.
Interesting. People
weren't really necessarily fond of doing Founders. They only did it because of supply. Yeah, they couldn't get anywhere else. They'd pay a premium, and that's what we've seen with with what's happening now. So people, everything's been inflated by several $100s depending on which card you're looking for. It's the worst time to make a computer.
No, definitely, man, definitely. I almost made a custom computer recently, but I saw that the price people were price gouging and stuff like that. So I'm like, I backed off.
Yeah, I mean, I bit the bullet and bought the 260 back in May before everything was going out of control with supply and demand and everything. And the 260 had been out for a while, so people probably weren't super enthusiastic about buying it, But now all the cards are hot. They're all, yeah. Although if you still go to a Micro Center, you can still find a lot of cards there. But Micro Center is not they're not opposed to raising their prices to meet demand. They're sometimes you can find outrageous prices at Micro Center.
Correct.
But it's in these in-person stores that you're more likely to find something that they maybe don't offer online.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that they get people in the store because then they buy more stuff than that graphics card.
Yeah.
It could be sold out online, but if you go to the store, you might find it there.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can also call ahead. Yeah,
I've never thought about doing it all that.
Well, I'm always trying to buy stuff online because I can always find it cheaper than in the store. But when your product is sold out, then you have to go in the store, and then you might get lucky or you call ahead.
Interesting.
But yeah, some of the benchmarks here. Let's see. For 4K, looks like you can play The Witcher 3 at 81.3 frames, which is pretty high. This is on even on Ultra, You could play it. Oh, I think that's ultra settings at maybe it's at 1080p. Yeah, it's at 1080p, I believe. 109 frames. So it looks like some games you can play this pretty well. You know, like I played League of Legends 4K on the 2060. You know, no problem. Like once I get up about like 144 frames, I start to like get some drops to like 120 or something. So I have to like lock it at like 90. But I don't know. It looks like this is definitely a 2K card though. You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it all depends on what you want to buy it, you know? Like this like Metro Exodus 66.2 frames. Forza Horizon 4 150 frames at 1440p. So that's the highest one, Forza 4. So a racing game. And then the very lowest would be something like where is it? Anno 1800 at 40.6 frames at 1440.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, a decent, definitely an awesome 1080p card, and then a decent 1440p card.
Yeah, it seems like a very decent something that I would probably purchase, and I would actually do more. I would do more testing if I could, if I had a better computer. No offense.
Yeah.
My computer. I would actually love to actually run these tests that these people actually do and find out for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I did think I'll pull it up RTX 3060 Ti versus the 2060 Ti. Cuz I don't think maybe they didn't have one. They just had the 2060. Yeah. But this review by notebookcheck.net, very in depth. Check it out. Got some pretty cool stuff about temperature and power consumption, and just pretty. It's got noise levels and yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah, definitely. Was there anything else you want to cover, Joe?
No.
So we're going to go on to the next topic, which is actually SpaceX says its Starlink satellite internet service now has over 10,000 users. That was a very, very interesting topic. I found. What do you think about this, Joe? Like, what do you think about the whole Starlink system? Like, I know we've covered this in the past.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, it's cool to see internet spreading like this. You know, they think what was it? It was like what was it? 20 megabytes per second.
I think so.
Something pretty big.
Correct.
But yeah, it helps people who are in regions that don't really have the infrastructure. Like maybe the terrain is too difficult, or maybe they're in a very remote place. Like
or it could be out in a desert, or it could be out in a, how do you say it, or a bunch of trees are around you, and then you have a wide open gap, and you could just try to see if you could get signal from there.
Oh yeah.
Or put a giant tower up, and then so you could actually kind of get some.
Yeah, like if you're like really north in Canada, there's like a lot of like snow and ice all the time, or
correct.
Like it'd be tough to like always make a lot of like. I mean they do it, but it's still it's more expensive. Yeah. You even find in places where it should be relatively cheap to put more internet down. It doesn't happen as fast as people want it. So a satellite is pretty cool.
Correct. And it also, too, I don't know if you saw the price, Joe, that it's $99 a month, and for an additional $4.99 upfront cost to order the Starlink kit. Do you think that's that much, that for that price is worth it?
I think it depends on how desperate you are and like where you are, right? It does, because like again, we've talked about internet pricing before. I pay $70 for a business line. I get 25 down, 5 up. You live in an area where you get Google Fiber, and you get like what, $15 for like 100 up and 100 down or something. If you were in an area where even those two services weren't available and you had to do like really low DSL, like where you only get like 1.2 up or something, or like maybe, I don't know, like 5 down or so, I don't know, whatever, right? This might be like the only option. Yeah. So it's not like the democratization kind of internet access that I kind of was thinking, It's more of a, commercial, I mean, $500 up front is not cheap. So it's obviously like tailored towards the middle class and upper class.
Yeah.
And yeah, because even trying to like build your like buy your, I actually talked to Comcast recently just to test the waters, just to see, and the guy was like, yeah, it'll cost you like maybe thousands to tens of thousands to like build your own like fiber optic line to your house and stuff. So yeah, so it's like, yeah, the cheapest option will be to do like coaxial with Comcast, even if you don't like their pricing and stuff. So I'm stuck with Comcast, and other people are stuck with SpaceX Starlink. But at the same time, if you have bad internet in there and you need it,
Correct.
Like if I couldn't get those speeds they're talking about, like 20 down, like that's pretty rough. Actually, you know what it was? It was 100 down and 20 up, I believe. The article was kind of didn't write it as well as I wanted it to, but it's still like, that's pretty good. 100 down and 20 up.
Yeah.
If you pay that upfront cost, like $99 a month, that's better than like the cost for business. But it's not a dedicated line, but yeah. So.
Correct. And also too, here's part of the topic. Since FCC 2 years ago approved SpaceX to launch 11,943 satellites, with the company aiming to deploy 4,425 satellites in orbit by 2024. What do you think about all these satellites being in space and doing all this to help this? Do you think that's causing too much clutter? Do you think this is eventually going to cause problems in the atmosphere? What do you think about all this stuff, Joe? This is like, I've been thinking about this, like, like that's too much clutter. It's going to be out there.
Personally, I think it's an interesting problem. I do. I kind of find it fascinating, like, because it, it's going to have to be like an international, addressed internationally, or people are going to have to figure out how to like deal with it. And I just find it interesting to see like what are people going to do with it? Like, are people going to like start pushing other people's trash? Like, are they going to like, is it going to be cheaper for them to send like NASA or somebody up there, right? To just, I don't know, either push it out of orbit and send it to the rest of the galaxy, or to bring it down like a meteorite, like a meteor. What are you gonna do? Like, what's the responsible thing? Or you just say you can't put up any more satellites until you have like NASA bring it into like a ship and land it safely to Earth. So I think it's a very fascinating thing, because I'm not sure. I haven't seen any articles. I haven't looked up to see how have we been dealing with this. Are we just like letting this stuff build up there?
Well, some of this stuff is going so fast that they can't catch it. We don't have anything to stop or capture this stuff.
Because we don't have any space police.
Correct, and it's too fast. It's like when it revolves around the Earth, it's like it's spinning like at so many milliseconds. I don't know what the speed is, Joe. I don't know if you want to Google that, but it's too fast that we don't have the technology to capture it anymore.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know how fast. I don't know how fast it's going, but how do we stop this from getting out of control? Because it seems like it's going to eventually get out of control.
Yeah, so I guess satellites have to orbit the planet at 7,000 miles per hour. Yeah.
See?
That's pretty nuts.
You imagine trying to catch that sphere at 7,000 miles per hour. It'll rip you right off. It'll hand right off.
I don't... Oh, gosh, how do they do that? Like, is it like inflated the miles per hour based on because the Earth is spinning, right? So the Earth is spinning and the satellite's not actually spinning that fast, right? Because the Earth is spinning, but like how fast are they really moving satellites? I don't get it.
Think about it. That we're down here on the bottom of the Earth, and we travel a lot slower than the things in space.
Yeah, I guess it actually has to travel 7,000 for the most expensive satellites that you want to keep there.
Correct.
You know, there are other satellite services that you just let it go around, right?
Yeah.
And you have to wait 24 hours to get service again for that satellite. So that's why they have multiple satellites, right? But maybe you do have to have. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know how they do that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess they have to send it up at an ascent, right? And then once it gets into orbit, it's staying at that 7,000, right? And eventually, it's losing speed.
I think so.
That is nuts.
We have a couple of responses here.
Yeah.
I can't say his name. He's saying is the Earth is square. Then he's saying it's octagon or maybe even a triangle. I would love to see the Earth is square, perfectly square, an orbit going around, or an octagon,
or a triangle.
Because here's the thing: is to what I've heard, he's pretty much almost like kind of accurate because everything falls. It's almost like an octagon because as it's falling onto orbit into the Earth, it's actually catching every single corner, or Docagon or whatever he said, the other guy. It's like every time it's falling, it catches by the corners and it just keeps on going. It keeps like rotating, so it's like an incremental. That's what I'm assuming. So it prevents it from falling to Earth. But the question is, how would you catch it?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, right? I guess a circle would have like infinite amount of sides, basically. Like, you know, it's the perfect like micro. It has the most amount of edges possible. It's in the trillions, or a number that I can't even describe.
Yeah, it may be Googleplex. I don't know if you heard of that, Googleplex.
Yeah, I know. I've done that before. I've look at Wikipedia to see what the next big numbers are for whatever, like the stars or storage, or how fast like the supercomputers go at.
Oh man. You don't want to go there, man. Quantum. I don't know if we talked about this, but there is something called quantum. What's it called? What did I tell you? Quantum bits. Now, where you actually use internet speeds at quantum level, it transfers your data in less than a second. So as soon as you submit something, you already have the data, before you need a blink of an eye.
That's cool. I'm still trying to get. I'm still trying to get, like, I don't know, 10 up.
Oh man, yeah, that is crazy. So next we have is that India cuts internet around New Delhi. So what do you think about this whole thing about the whole internet shutdown still? Because I know we covered it a lot. We covered it, I think, last podcast or the podcast before about this whole internet shutdown.
Yeah.
And this time around, they shut it down because there was a massive group of people.
Yeah.
For some kind of what was it?
There was agricultural regulations.
So a group.
Yeah,
of people
I guess it was deregulation rules. And they think that it'll destroy their livelihoods. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. They came with their tractors, and they made and they made a point.
Oh man,
and they slept there, and they lived life. They were there.
What would you say, Joe, if you went over there and you saw all these tractors and stuff like that, and they were just a group of gathering because of all this stuff? What would you say about this?
I would say that I would listen to them, and maybe they have a point. And the argument is that the farmers are saying that these new rules will allow corporations to exploit the workers, which is a huge. The agricultural community in India is huge. It's half of so it's about 280 million, I think. Yeah, so it's huge, but the prime minister is saying that it'll give more autonomy to set their own prices and sell to private businesses. But as we've seen in the United States and other countries, a lot of times we don't think that's like the market is fair to farmers in the United States. There's tons and tons of subsidies for farmers.
Yeah.
Like leaders on both sides will always be in favor of farm subsidies.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so I guess this is kind of like Monsanto. People are just in India. They're not happy with the idea of corporations potentially, having more of a control over farming.
Yeah.
Farmers are pretty independent people.
Yeah, and they're very important.
Yeah.
To society and cultures and our food supplies.
Yep.
Yeah, and during this whole gathers were 147 people. Of how would you say it, Joe? 147 people have kind of like lost their lives due to during the course of the months ranges of causes for including exposure to cold weather and etc. of stuff that they were out there.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's very sad. But those people felt like it was that important. They thought like this is like their livelihood, and they knew because of like the global problem that's going around.
Yeah.
They knew they didn't want to make more of a problem. They didn't want to increase those numbers, but they felt like they were desperate.
Yeah, they were trying to be desperate.
Yeah, and yeah, they're just it's really it's a debated topic, and yeah, just pray for people who who suffer through those kind of things, and be grateful for what you have, and
yeah,
and just try to make the world a better place.
Yeah, I try to listen to one another as well. I try to understand the reason.
Yeah,
and not shut people out. Try to listen, see what people have to say. Some people might actually have a good point in certain things.
Yeah, like even the corporations, or even the other, the minister or something. I'm open to hearing what they have to say. I might disagree, but I'm open to hearing it, and I'm not gonna, do anything that's, hurtful.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on, we have researchers develop a portable device that creates 3D images of skin in 10 minutes. What do you think of this, Joe? This is like mind-boggling. This is like almost like we're in like the 21st century, like a whole new deal. What do you think of this?
Well, it's pretty sweet. I don't think I thought that would be, this is something I wouldn't think that would be possible.
Well, it's coming, Joe. It's actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother's getting into 3D printing, so I'll have to ask him more about what he thinks about this.
Imagine, tell him to try to print 3D human skin. And how would they make it work? And is it gonna be like exactly like real life, or is it gonna be more like a different type of material?
No, I don't know. It's complicated. um, yeah, I don't know. How do they do it? Did
It
they?
says here they've devised film onto the subject's skin to obtain an imprint of up about to 5 by 5 centimeters, which is then subjected to an electronic charge, generating a 3D image. The researcher designed a 3D print prototype of their device using polylactic acid, a biodegradable bioplastic. The battery operated device, which measures 7 centimeters by 10 centimeters, weighs only 100 grams. It seems like they're using, it's like, it looks like it's not like fully skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than it's like a plastic that they could actually just attach to you to make it look like if it's synthetic, like part of you.
Oh, so it's kind of like I don't know. What are they trying to protect against infection?
That's what it sounds like. Or maybe
Biodegradable plastic.
And would that even be safe for humans?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They're using it to. Wow, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. This is just mind-boggling on this topic. It's just like it just blew my mind, knowing that they're actually going to be doing 3D images of skin in 10 minutes. Okay, here's another thing. It's the thin film is also flexible enough to map features on uneven skin areas, such as the creases of an elbow and fingerprints.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you not know how much identity theft that's going to include?
Yeah. I was talking about how they could do uneven areas like fingerprints.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It reminds me of when I go to the bank and I put on the hand sanitizer and then I touch the screen and I'm just wondering, I can see my fingerprint up there. Just reminds me.
I have a habit. I always wipe it off.
Do you?
Yes. I'm like, nobody's going to do that.
Yeah. Next week I'll have to show you what I wear. I wear a face shield and I wear a mask. And then I recently got in the habit where I put hand sanitizer on and my hands are dripping and then I touch the door and I open it with the hand. So we're like, they dry, right? But like people are like, yeah. Hand sanitizer is going everywhere on the planet.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this is cool because yeah, it's cool to it's cool to help people like people who have skin diseases and you know for burns or whatever, like a congenital disease. It's awesome that we have technology to make life a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, and to actually make them almost like make everybody the same. I don't know how you would call that. Like make them equal, make them back and just part of society again.
Yeah.
So, well, we are going to the next topic. And the next topic is a very interesting topic as well. Is we have the ZTE Axon 30 Pro to be the first Snapdragon 888 device with an under-display camera. So what do you think of this, Joe? Of this whole Snapdragon 888 device and the under-display camera?
Well, it's cool. It's out of my price range. It's fashionable. It's got this like cool like the one has like a purple background. It's got a ton of cameras, right? Like I can see there's like 4 lenses there. Or at least there might be like one's for lighting, and yeah, looks like a high-powered competitor.
This could actually probably take out. Probably could actually fight against the digital camera world. Possible. Could start fighting into it.
Yeah, I don't.
And make it fat, and the processor's probably faster, too.
Yeah, I mean, you're more of an expert of the phones. I just.
Yeah, if you think about it, Joe, our cameras are almost coming out as high as almost digital cameras. So you imagine the processor speed. We're almost getting them as fast as a digital computer.
I mean, and some would say that some people's phones are faster than other people's laptops.
Correct. Correct.
The laptop in the hand.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
So, yeah. What was it? So it's an under-display camera. It's the first to have it on the front. What is that under-display camera?
Not sure on that one. Let's take a look.
Under-display.
And under the front front camera, but also the first Snapdragon to arrive. I think what it's saying is that it's hidden under the screen. Like the fingerprint. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, you mean like because phones have a camera in the front and the back? It's hidden in the front.
Correct. So you have the screen, and you can't see the camera anymore. It's hidden completely away with the LCD screen.
That's pretty cool.
I've always wondered when they were going to do that.
Yeah.
Because they did it. They actually have been successful at using the fingerprint, the under screen fingerprint reader, and it's been successful on it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
On your phone, Joe, do you actually use the fingerprint reader or no?
No.
Does it even let you use it?
I don't think it probably has that feature, but I could check. But I wouldn't use it if I had it. There's certain things like I don't mind being targeted for ads, right? I don't care about that information, but I'll never use my fingerprint for anything.
Really?
I mean, no, that's not true. I have you have to do like I've done like background checks with the fingerprint, but beyond a background check, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna like. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I have mine enabled.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I have mine enabled, but mine also has face recognition and all that stuff set up. So if I don't want to use that, I'll go to the other method.
Yeah, I guess I just don't like having biometrics in use frequently. I see it as like for a necessity, but I don't see it as like convenience. Yeah, it's my personal thing. Other people like are okay with like putting like a chip in their body to go to like a exclusive bar or something, but that's not me. I don't embrace technology that much. I embrace it a lot.
So since you're bringing that up, Joe, about putting a chip inside of you, so you're telling me when the day comes, no more ID, no more credit cards, no more nothing. All you have to do it. Would you do it? If not, you'll just be a homeless guy on the corner of the street.
That'll be the day. Yep, that would be the day.
So you'll be the guy in the homeless corner, the homeless guy on the corner of the street. Or would you actually put it in?
No, I'd be the homeless guy. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't think we need that. I'm pretty sure like we don't. Our society doesn't need that. And if somebody makes the argument that we do, I'd say they're wrong. I'd say with like our smart biometrics and our credit cards and other things, we've already gone like pretty secure with digital. I understand like Bill Gates has been talking about it, like biometrics being secure in like India and everything. I'm not in favor of that. I just don't want like, because basically they're saying like it would help you develop a credit score if you don't have a credit score. Like it would like everything would be tracked, right? Your whole like your work history, everything, right? But sometimes you just want to erase your work history. You're like, oh, that was a bad job. I don't want to necessarily put that on my resume, right? But if you do this, it's always on your resume. You know, like this is like your whole life being accumulated on this biometric chip. And sometimes people just want to forget things in the past and just move on to the next thing, you know? And yeah, I just don't like, that's like way too much information all in one spot. You know? Do you know, like sometimes when companies ask you like, oh, let's make like a security password? Do you know that one of the questions is like, what city that you were born in?
Yeah.
But do you know that I think I've been told that like if you put in what city you've been born in, that can help somebody figure out your social security number.
Correct.
Because it gets your date, it gets your date, state, and the city you're born in, and it gives you a lot of information. You can look people up in birth records and stuff like that, you know.
Correct.
So, like, you know, if companies are like asking like for security questions like that, and those same companies are like pushing for these biometric stuff, it doesn't make sense. But what do you feel about it?
I feel like we have no more privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's exposed already.
Yeah, some people don't
like,
mind, and yeah.
I feel it's already too late. It's already too late, man. All of our information, our biometrics, our fingerprints. Even when we were in school, we were actually asked to get like a booklet, do our fingerprints, and then the state gets them. Every time we get our job, their fingerprints are put into a database just to update our fingerprints. They have everything, man. They already have everything from us. Their database gets leaked all the time, I'm pretty sure. They just don't tell us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'm like, why not? Just why not? I'm already out there already in the world. Just might as well just finish it off. Just keep going.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm okay, you know, with being targeted on ads and stuff. But apart from a company knowing some information, I'd be embarrassed if people knew all my online purchases if it wasn't just like a company like using AI to target me, right?
Yeah.
If it was something like your neighbor knows that you buy this and this and this and this.
Correct. And you know, I met a guy, he developed that part of that AI system, and he was, it's all about what you search in Google.
Mm-hmm.
And how and it tracks everything from you down to the point. Everything you type in, every letter, everything you do, it's all AI knows everything about you. Mm-hmm. How it pretty much almost even type what you're gonna type next.
Yeah.
That's how much this AI has gone into with these ads. I don't know if you noticed, before you type something in, sometimes you'll get an ad, and that's what you were thinking. Have you ever run into that?
No, not yet.
Really?
No, not that I can remember. But I do. It does get irritating when you've already bought something and you get those ads over and over again.
Oh my God! Tell me about.
And you're like, that's a one-time purchase, guys. It's not like
I get some the ones that I'm just about to think. I'm thinking about it, and then just ads pop up about it. I get ticked off about that.
So, I mean, does this happen on like Google or Amazon or where's this?
Google, Facebook, or Instagram. And I'm like, man, can't you just get away from me? This ad.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's something you've basically like searched up before, right?
Correct.
And you're coming back again. You're like, maybe I do want to buy it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you do want to buy it. I'm reminding you.
Yeah, exactly. Something you searched for like 10 years ago is coming back to haunt you because you searched for it 10 years ago. And it comes back and bites you. It does. It even knows what type of stuff you look for, and it recommends something that's like close related to what you just purchased. Or you're gonna, oh yeah, you bought this product. We could try to advertise you this product because it goes together. You know, that type of ads I get all the time.
Yeah, and you know, certain people that I'm close to, you know, they that kind of stuff like makes them really, really emotional. You know, they don't like it at all, and so I'm kind of like in the middle. And then some other people are like, let's give more, you know? And I'm like, I think we've given enough.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, so it's it's cool that we're gonna get the Snapdragon under display, and then maybe more cameras will do that. And if people can tell us what uses does that have, like how is it like really like revolutionary, like what does it really do for you? Let us know.
One thing I could think of that people are going to say is they want more screen.
Oh, they don't want it blocking the screen.
They don't want that blocking the screen. But I'm going to give you a thing. I feel bad. I'm going to say this to the poor companies. I don't like saying this. That what happens if the screen breaks? It's going to actually, the crack's going to run right over it. You're not going to be able to use it. You're not going to be able to use it at all.
So you're saying you have to replace the phone faster than you normally would?
Correct. You're gonna because you're not gonna be able to take pictures on it and stuff like that. Like for instance, like this phone here, if the back breaks, this is a whole different shield, a whole different cover. Versus if you get in the front, it's just one screen. So if it breaks, it goes rides right over it, and you can't use a front-facing camera anymore. So you have.
And for the company doesn't mind.
Company don't mind. He has more money for them.
5 more phones, yeah. So.
Yeah, like my phone's broken. I don't know if I told you.
No.
Yeah, it's broken. I dropped it on a rock and it chipped.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I've dropped my phone recently a lot in like my home, like on wooden floor or carpet, and just it's still going.
And the bad part was it chipped right here at the corner. And that's because I have a glass screen on top, and the rock hit right at the end the glass on the screen itself in the very tip corner and shattered it.
So is that a screen protector or?
It's a screen protector, but made out of glass.
Oh, so it's strong.
Yeah, if people drop it and hits a rock, that screen breaks instead of the other phone, instead of the main screen.
Okay.
So you can just replace it, put a new one on, and there you go. Continue doing. But
so it's better overall protection than the ones that just protect the edges.
Correct, because this type of screen protectors don't, because since we're using curved screens, they don't sell, like it's not. These screen protectors are not very great because they don't support curves. And they are made for these phones, but they don't work efficient like they're supposed to.
The one that you're using?
All the new ones. For the S10s, S9s, they don't work appropriately.
How do you get them on? Do you have to put them on yourself, or they come with them?
The company could put them on for you.
Okay, so you don't do it?
You can if you want, but if not, you can have them do it. You pay for a service for them, and they put it on. So this one I put it on myself regardless, is that these don't fit 100% exactly. If you look around the edges, it will never sit exactly at the edge. Ever.
And so that's where the damage could be.
And that's where when I dropped it, it hit that tap corner just it's like maybe like millimeters like away from it, and that little rock just tapped there, and that was the end of my phone. What are the odds of hitting that tiny spot? Come on. It's one like a whole giant screen, and it hits this little tiny corner tap right there, and that was the end of it. But it's still alive, guys. Still alive. Still works.
Kicking.
It still works. Barely. Barely alive, so well, going on.
Yeah.
Going on to the next topic is we actually have the macOS 11.3 beta 1 changes and features. I know you're not much of a Mac, Joe. So what do you, since you've been talking to me a lot, what do you think about Mac? And what do you think needs to be advanced onto the Mac world? Since you're a Windows person.
I think Mac needs to allow more freedom to bring in more apps, you know? Like download things, let the consumer take the risk as to whether that thing's going to be malicious or not. You know? Don't like necessarily have to screen everything. There's so many programs that I've downloaded that I've like, you know, depending on what website I'm downloading it from, I trust. You know? And I don't know, you've downloaded tons of stuff, right?
Oh,
But
man,
at the same time though, it takes, doesn't it usually sometimes for some programs it's like, well, okay, I have programs that I can't download because it's not a Mac, right? But I think it leans more where there's more programs that you can't download because you're a Mac.
Correct.
And it used to be hard for like video games. They were like, oh, we're not going to like port a lot of video games to Mac, but they've kind of changed that.
Yeah, that has changed. It has revolutionized a lot. Apple has been nice enough and lenient to allow this change.
Yeah.
So let's go into the top. Let's go more
about the features.
Let's go because now this has this version of Mac 11.3 Big Sur has some changes coming in.
Yeah, it looks a lot of about you know, tapping, swiping, dragging, you know, a lot of cool finger input. Yeah, and just interacting with games that way.
Correct. Also here, iPad's running on the M1 chip on the M1 Max gain the preference tab. Getting access to the preference menu when clicking the name of the application, the menu bar touch alternatives, which has previously a standalone option under the app's name in the menu bar, has been relocated under the preferences. Do you think this was a good idea, Joe, for them to actually add that feature?
I think so. You have more day-to-day use with it. What do you think?
Not too much. I feel like they just added something else, but might could have been made it easier. I haven't seen 11.3 yet, but I just know that it says here too. You just enable touch alternative to interact with the iOS app by tapping, swiping, dragging, and using multi-touch gestures, substituting pointer input for finger input. So it because since they've done a lot of merging between Macs and iPads and the tablets, you know, they've done a merger on the application. It seems like it could be a very well benefit to these companies, to this company, to actually be able to use multi-touch gestures and stuff like that. Like our phones. I don't know if you knew that our phones actually have multi-touch gestures.
Yeah. How many products did Apple have that? How many laptops or desktops did they have this? Did they have touch?
Oh,
did you know of any?
Laptops don't. There's none for laptop use.
So they're way behind the times, actually.
Correct. They only have iPads, but here's a but. The iPads can now actually connect to your iMac or your MacBook, and actually use it as a touch, almost touchscreen.
Oh, I see.
Or
That's
use
cool.
it, or either a touchscreen or use it as an extended screen.
Interesting. I wonder if Windows does that. Maybe not.
I don't know. Never seen it on Windows.
Somebody tell us, does Windows offer that feature? That was pretty cool what you mentioned about like combining everything, but it does feel like the Mac world is a little bit, you know, closed off, and then it takes like, you're like, they're finally allowing touch screens on your desktop, and you're like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just feels like they're like 5 years, like they're finally giving you something, and it's like they've invented it for the first time.
Correct. So
does it feel like that?
I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be fully functional on the extended screen, or is it just completely just for iPads? I'm kind of curious on that, because I know they do touch, but even when they do the extended screen, it's still touch, but I don't know if you can use the full touch on it. So I'm kind of wondering. There's still some questions on this. There's not much information saying that, oh yeah, we're making it full touch. or what we have, because Mac, like you said, Joe, Mac has never had a release a touch computer, as to what I know of.
And I wouldn't pay for one. I have a family member that uses one a lot, and I can see the benefit for some people, but for me, my screens would be far dirtier than they are right now if I had to use my oily finger on the screen all the time, or if I wanted to, even if I wanted to put my oily finger on the screen. I don't have the purpose, like if I use my laptop, or I guess I use a tablet sometimes, but I usually use a laptop more than I use a tablet. And I'm perfectly okay using my finger on the touchpad and not putting it on the screen. So,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Maybe that's why they took forever to do it. They thought like their users really didn't, want to.
Well, and the next feature they added is the iPad app window size changes. You cannot, although you cannot manually adjust the window size of the iOS apps running on the Macs, but the default window size has been made to be larger based on the screen resolution. What do you think of that, Joe?
That's cool.
In your opinion?
That's cool.
I think this is a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you always want like apps bigger and to be able to see things. And I'm not sure if it's customizable where you can make it smaller and bigger, but
It just says here it'll be based on your screen resolution so far.
Okay. Yeah, which is good because that means it's a scaling HUD. Then like it's good.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's terrible when you don't have support for scaling.
Yeah.
Like I got my 4K monitor. They put the resolution as 150%. You're not like watching it in 100%. You have to scale all the icons up because it's too small. I guess it's a 27-inch. So yeah, I should try. I'm gonna go back to doing that for a day. Put it back at 100% and see if I can see the apps. The names and everything. I'm kind of upset. I play League of Legends, and they haven't like fixed the cursor for 4K. So my cursor is smaller, and so I like misclick, and I don't get as many kills as I do. But sometimes I like the champions where I can really like stop. But sometimes that cursor goes the wrong way because the HUD doesn't scale to 4K. So anybody who can scale their app for higher resolutions, you're gonna be pleasing more high-paying customers, and then it'll trickle down. And then also, what was the other thing about? Apps. Like I've been kind of vocal with you about this, right? Newer and what was the other one? Oh, it's another light company. It starts with a G. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, I can't remember the moment right now. Oh, GVM? Yeah, GVM. GVM and Newer. I love Newer lights that I just bought because they let me control on the outside. But I'm still having difficulties with their app trying to connect to my lights. And what I'm saying is people who create apps have to make it for they have to make them foolproof. Do you know what I mean? It should be working flawlessly. Like if an app doesn't work well, it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
And my point was that what was it? Just going back to customer service, just making sure that things work coherently.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
also going to the next feature is the stereo paired HomePods as default global sound output. What do you think of that? That they added that. Now it could function as the default global sound output for the Mac. Previously in Mac OS global sound settings, a Mac would see HomePod stereo pair as two separate devices.
I guess I don't have an opinion on that one.
I don't
think?
either. I don't either because I've never really hooked up speakers to my computer in forever, man. or anything like wireless or anything, man. Never really. I've always used headphones.
Yeah, so somebody else can tell us what their opinion on this is.
Yeah, I would like to hear that from you guys. Feel
But
free,
yeah,
guys.
looks like Apple's doing a lot of changes though.
Correct. Like here's another thing is they made a made for you in Apple Music. Like the iOS 14.5 update, the stock music app features a new made for your section in the music library. The new section houses the chill mix, favorite mix, and the new music mix playlist normally found under the listen now section.
Mm-hmm.
Not it doesn't seem like they made much change to that one, Joe. It seems like they just added the new a section just made for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like your interest. That's what it seems like it like all they did.
Yeah, and Windows users would have said, "Well, that you just made a playlist." and that's old news. I'm not sure if you can make playlists in Mac, but we've been making playlists since like 2000 or something. 20 years old technology of making playlists on the computer. So I jest. I'm not sure. Again, I'm ignorant about Macs. I should.
Yeah.
I keep
I don't
saying
know
I'm going to buy a cheap Mac, but I'm sorry. I kind of just don't think it's worth it me buying one.
Yeah, man. It's up to you. It's always your call. It's always your call.
Yeah, if somebody wants to donate, maybe I should go find just find like a relic.
Don't go too old, man. Don't go too old.
No, just something that I like just play around with, like just tinker.
Okay. Next thing is that they redesigned the News Plus tab in the macOS 11.3 beta ships with an update News Plus tab under the Apple News app. This update News Plus tab defaults to a new My Magazine section featuring slightly larger cover art for the magazines that you're currently reading. In addition, it simplifies the layout, features just 3 additional sections for downloaded newspaper and catalogs. What do you think about that, Joe? I don't know if you're too much into reading newspapers or catalogs. Do you think this would be beneficial to the reader if they're reading an article or something?
Google search.
Google search.
Yeah, that's my news, right? Or actually, I watch TV too, like Channel 5 and 4 and stuff. ABC, NBC. But what's your opinion?
I'm not a reader at all, so I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm not. But
So you watch your news?
I watch my news on. I'd rather watch it than read it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys do have opinions, feel free to comment down below, and we'll respond to you guys on your responses, and maybe we could have a little debate in the comment section. That'd be fun. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. In defense of people who like watching TV for their news, like you and me, it's a little bit more exciting.
Exactly.
You get a little bit more feisty. People get feisty on TV, back and forth with their opinions sometimes, depending what the news is, right? And written text doesn't always provide that,
Correct.
It depends on what kind of topic you're looking for. Yeah. And yeah, I guess I don't like I guess when I go for news, I want to search for it. I want to go to Google News and then see what's trending or not trending, or I don't know. What do you think?
I have no comment. I just watch it on TV. I don't have no opinion on it.
Do you seek it out, or just it finds you?
It finds me.
Yeah.
It just finds me. Everything just finds me.
Do you watch any talk shows or no? Like
I'm just when I'm bored, I'm just like channel surfing. And I'm like, oh look, that's where it is. Let's just watch that. And I'll sit there and watch it. Or if it's like news time, and I'll just sit there and then I'm about to change the channel. And the news says, "Oh, you got this going on." I'm like, ooh, put the remote down, listen, and that's how I get caught. I get caught, Even not only that, I get caught by also news feeds on YouTube, on my Google. It says, "Oh yeah, news bulletin for this." I don't read it. I go look it up on YouTube. And I'd rather watch what happened to the news article than actually read the whole article. I could get more news. I could get more news faster watching the video than reading it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the same way.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. You know.
We have another feature, and this I do like. I really, really do like this new feature. This other feature, it's updated reminders app sorting options. While the iOS 14.5 received the ability to sort lists on iPhone and iPad, macOS 11.3 betas first reminders update features enhances to the already existing sorting options. 11.3 users can now right click directly on a list to expose sorting options instead of having to venture to the view menu of the menu bar. What do you think of that, Joe? Like, now you can sort options.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of PC. It's the theme of today. Welcome to the world of PC.
I've never had to I've never had to create a playlist. Create that many schedules on my PC ever. I've done it on my phone, but I don't think I could sort it out on my Android.
That's true. I've always thought I was going to put some scheduling on the PC, but I never decided to do that. Always use like a calendar and other things.
I thought I've never done scheduling, sorting, but be my guest. If you want to add scheduling to it, hey, add it, because a lot of people probably use it, man. If you're one of those people out there, guys, if you see this video, go ahead and let us know what do you think about that updating the sort on the reminders, sorting them up. What do you think about that? Let us know. Feel free. It doesn't hurt to ask, to respond to us. And also, I don't know if I don't use Safari, and I don't think you use Safari. I don't know if you do. They've actually have extensions upcoming, so at least now they'll be able to use extensions like Google Chrome. I think they're actually finally allowing this compared to what they had before, because they weren't allowed to use it. Because I don't remember ever having seen that there. It just says here, brought forth a more customized Safari new Windows page with the ability to toggle various sections like Siri suggestions, reading list, iCloud tabs, etc. Users can even go as far as customize a new page background image. The update to Safari on Mac OS 11.3 Beta 1 will soon let users take this customization to the next level. By leveraging extensions, Safari on Mac OS 11.3 will let you customize and override new windows or tab pages even further and beyond. The update will let developers add various features or even brand new styles to their new window or new tab page. What do you think of all this?
That's cool. That's cool.
I think this is something that should have happened like a few years ago. Chrome has been doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrome's already expanded a lot on the App Store.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I liked using just like, oh my gosh, I have so many like saved websites on Opera, and then some websites don't work well, so I have to have like, I have like Chrome, I have Avast, Edge, Firefox. You never know what website, what browser is going to save you in a pinch. So yeah, I mean, download tons of different browsers, because you might find that one browser has some features that you're like, whoa, where was I when I only stuck with one browser and I never experienced another browser? Correct.
Also,
because I was in love with like Firefox for years and years until I found Opera. So it's like
I used to be a heavy supporter for Google Chrome and Firefox. I got away from them because it slowed down my PC so horribly. But now, after all these updates that they made changes, it actually performed very well on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
After all these updates, so I went back to Chrome. So, but I've tried using. I'm not gonna lie. I've tried using Safari. I can't get into it. I'm sorry. Safari and Apple for that. I can't.
So Safari is with Apple.
Yeah. I think you could actually download it on Windows as well.
Well, I'm googling it right now, and Safari. I thought Safari used to be able to be downloaded by a PC, but maybe it was always. I don't know. Maybe they bought them up and then you can't do it anymore. But I will look into it. If I can, I will try to download Safari just to be part of the experience. I do want to say, Renee, that I looked back since we were talking about like being able to sort things.
Yeah.
I just discovered something more amazing about the PC. I went to Documents and I did right click and it shows you like, let's see, where is it? Sort. Sorry, I had it. Apologize. I don't see it at the moment. Where was it? So you do sort and then it shows like an option of like many other things you can do. And it's like practically 100 different types of sort functions you want. And so I just added to my computer date created because that's something that I've been looking for forever. Because you're like, when did I create that? Like, I don't want to know like when it was like last modified. That's useful, but created is more useful than modified.
Correct.
So yeah, I'll have to show you that later. But like, it's a list of like 100 different ways you want to. If you want to sort on PC, it's endless.
Oh man,
we'll give you more than 5 or 6 options.
Whew. Okay, the last feature that Mac has they're going to be adding is the Apple Support app and sending feedback. In addition to the update support menu, Apple is planning on bringing the Apple Support app to the Mac. The Apple Support app, which is currently only available for the iPhone, iPad, lets users contact Apple Support, run direct on devices diagnostics, and initiate repairs without needing to open the Apple website or call Apple Care support. Reps are on the phone. And the feedback, it's a small change, but the feedback assistant app has been updated with a cute little smiley glyph upon submitting a bug report to Apple. What do you think about that, Joe? I know Windows don't have this feature. Windows don't have a contact support. So what do you think about this right here?
We now have an AI diagnostic that is very, very, it's very, very slow. Like, it's a recent change, and I wish they would go back to the way it was before, where it actually, like, did a lot of searching for you. Now it wants to have a conversation with you, and I'm like, just solve my problem. And now it's just like, now I'm like, okay, every time I look for the old way, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm running into this AI. I better go Google search it instead of trying to communicate with this AI. So yeah, that's good.
You're talking about PC here, guys.
No, I know PC. Yeah, so this is cool that the Mac allows you to contact, actual. Hopefully, you get a human being and not a AI. They're making it look like you're contacting a person, but it's actually an AI.
Oh man, but they do have the best support. I'm not gonna lie. I have called customer care, and they've helped me fix my Mac.
I would think so for the price that they charge you. Customer service should be number one.
Oh man, they are the number one, man. They are. Even my iMac is a 2012, and they even supported my 2012 Mac, and helped me fix it.
That's good of them. They want you Apple for life. That's good. Very good marketing.
Oh man, for that price,
always help a customer out.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Even the in-store people, they actually help out a lot. They give you the best advice, best tips, and they give you the best training too.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you knew that. if you buy a Mac, Joe, you can actually go to the Apple store and actually schedule a training on how to use a Mac.
Oh,
I don't know if you
cool,
knew that.
cool, cool.
So if you're interested in buying a Mac, you could buy a Mac and then go to a training 101,
Cool, cool.
or you could just watch all my videos.
You think if I bought a PC or a Mac and I just started asking Walmart like every question, like how do you open a browser? How do you delete a file? And I don't leave for like hours and they're like go watch YouTube. Oh, there would be some customers that would do that, you know? They're like,
Oh, you should tell me about it.
you know? I mean, they just don't know enough about computers, you know? And they're the ones that actually need the time. So support your customers.
I've actually been at Best Buy. I've actually helped out somebody, a customer. A Best Buy employee was there helping out, and I'm the one that intervened and started talking. I took over the conversation one time.
Yeah, before the global problem, I was that kind of person too. I like to talk, you know? But now I just avoid everybody. Like, people are having a conversation, I'm like, oh, there's one thing I want to say, but I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that right now. I don't feel good. I don't like wearing everything I have to do to stay safe, you know? I don't like being out. I just go out, and I come back in. So, that's cool that you had that urge to help people out.
Oh, I have it all the time, man. Even just today, I just stopped doing that. I was like, I don't need to help. That's what they're getting paid for. I'm not getting paid for it. So,
yeah. So if it's unless it's something like, oh man, I haven't talked to people in a while, you know.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Well, that is completely it. If you have any questions, comments, or anything else you want to feel free to comment or anything else you got. And we'll actually answer you. If you want us to cover any topics in the future, hey, comment down below and let us know a topic that you're interested in us to cover or any type of videos you want us to make, and we'll actually try to support that.
Yeah.
So,
and we're very appreciative of everybody who supports us. And you can support us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're on Anchor and all the different podcast platforms. And we're always reinvesting in the stream and having fun and telling you about the latest news.
Yep, we sure are. So, we'll see you guys next time. So, peace out.
Stay safe.